Good morning. So I just got out of the shower. Hair's still wet. I'll put it up later, but it's going to be a great day today. And we're starting off with white strawberry. So this is the tea for the day from Community from Adagio. And I am not a huge white tea drinker, but I actually don't mind this one because I love their strawberry teas. It smells like a strawberry patch almost. It smells like, like a strawberry muffin or something with really concentrated strawberry flavor. So here's what it looks like. I'm going to pop it into my little yellow teapot. And I'm going to read the ingredients to you. Okay. So, 3 minutes at 180. So most of you know, cheat on this. So I will take my little teapot, fill it up half with tap water, and then fill it with my almost boiled water from my big tea thermos. So this has white tea, rooibos tea, apple pieces, blueberry, hibiscus, natural strawberry flavor, strawberries, rose petals, blue cornflowers, natural vanilla flavor. It has some caffeine, but it's low caffeine. So I am glad there's not a ton of natural flavors in there because, again, I don't always love that. But what I am going to do, I'm going to pour a little bit of this hot and taste it hot, but then I'm actually going to pour it in a large glass of ice because I know I like their strawberry teas iced. They have a Mother's Day tea. That one's raspberry though. They have a lot of these like specialty teas. Oh, they have a Valentine's Day tea called Cupid something. I don't know. But it only comes out on Valentine's Day. Although if you regularly order from Adagio, you get points. And you can use those points to buy teas, specific teas that they have in this list, and other things too that you can buy. But I always use it to buy the teas. And they usually have their specialty teas even after the day that you're technically allowed to buy it. So they almost always have the Dreamberry, which is the Mother's Day tea. I bought a big bag of that long after Mother's Day, and I use it for iced tea. They have the Cupid's Cup, which is the Valentine's Day tea. I tend to buy that. It's very strawberry flavored, and I use it for iced tea as well. Actually, I like it warm too. I like it like a latte. Yeah, it tastes like strawberries and cream. And then I actually just bought reindeer fuel, which I've never had before. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's very pepperminty. I had some this morning for the first time. It's very pepperminty. It's got mate in it, which I love, but I'm not sure I love it as my first tea of the day. So I'm going to try it a little later in the week, not as my first tea of the day. I don't usually have mate as my first tea of the day. So it makes it a little bit bitter. All right, I'm going to pour some of this hot. It is very pale yellow. I'm going to pour the rest into my big cup of ice so I can have it iced and let you know how both are. So last night I went to 5 lesbians eating a quiche. It was cute. One of my favorite parts of it is each seat had a name tag on it with a fake name on it. So the audience was supposed to be part of this quiche eating group. And The actresses were wonderful. They were really, really good. It was very short. It was an hour and 15 minutes. They actually had another play later in the evening, so they had 2 plays that night. I didn't stay for the late one, but for me that was actually good because I don't like staying up really late. Although I ended up coming back home and kind of futzing around, I took a melatonin when I came home because I've been having trouble sleeping. So I took a melatonin and then let that kick in for a while and ended up reading in bed at like 10:30. I kind of purposely stayed up later so that I would hopefully just pass out, fall asleep, which is exactly what happened. So that was lovely. All right, I'm going to try this hot. So like most white teas, which is why they're not my favorite, it tastes like, to me, this could be hot water with a little splash of like strawberry juice in a big teapot of it. I know there are people who love white tea. Love it, love it, love it, because it's got this really light flavor. It's not generally for me. I drink some of it. Someone sent me a box of Clippers tea, white tea. A very nice friend from YouTube sent me that in a box of a bunch of teas, and I have drank all of those, and I did really like them, but I think I steep them longer because they're tea bags, and I tend to like put them in a cup and then kind of forget I have them in there. So they end up steeping longer. So I think you get more flavor out of them. This I actually steeped the way it told me to, and I probably should have steeped it longer. So I'm going to try it iced. It has a much darker color in this cup. You're not going to be able to see it with, oh, maybe. No, I'm going to pour it everywhere, but you can see it's a little bit darker brown when you have a full cup of it and not in my little crystal. Very, very light flavor. So I may have even by putting half water in here, the water may not have really been hot enough. Although I think this is kind of what it's supposed to taste like. I think it's just supposed to be very, very light and refreshing. But to me, it's kind of like I have some water. If I liked white tea, I would do a second steep with this, actually. And I would steep it for 5 minutes, and I would have the water a little bit hotter. Because I don't mind bitter tea. I kind of like that little bit of oversteeped astringency in tea sometimes. So, that's what I would probably do. So this is not my favorite, but I know people love it. It's the tea of the day, which is fun anyway. I will go on to the community. There's like a forum on the community. You can always rate the teas. You get points for rating the teas, and then you can buy things with that. You can, including like, you can get a mug for free. I've gotten most of the kind of perks that I want to get from there. Although I may kind of like build it up. I think they have a mystery box at some point if you have enough points. I don't remember. But I've already rated a lot of these teas because I've been getting this subscription box for over a year, a little over a year, and they repeat a lot of the teas. It's just a great way to try all of their teas and figure out what you like and what you don't like. Although I will say there are some teas, like especially some of their specialty, like they have a master's tea group, which has like their fancier teas. I would love if sometimes those made it into the community box, or if they had something that was like a sample of the masters, because those are a lot more expensive, which I'm happy to pay for tea if I feel like it's worth it. But if if I haven't tasted it, I'm not always sure I want to pay that. So today is going to be a fantastic day. I tried to sleep in. I slept till 6:30, which is actually about a half hour later than I usually get up. Wished I had been able to sleep later, but I was having like auditory hallucinations that my phone was buzzing. So I got up thinking my phone was buzzing, especially because my husband's not here and my son is not here. So when I think my phone is going off, I think there might be a problem with either of them. But it wasn't. It was an auditory hallucination. And so probably something I was dreaming. But I got up, and then 6:30 is normal wake-up time for me. So I was up. And I watched Akira and Nate. And I'm going to go meet my mom and go swimming this morning. And then I am going to go to Veg Fest. And one of the YouTubers I've been watching a lot is going to be at Veg Fest because she is vegan. I'm trying to be vegan for the most part. And she's there in charge of a vegan booth. So I'm going to go and meet her. So that will be really fun. And maybe get involved in some of the vegan club things that she does here. So I don't know if I'm allowed because I'm a cheating vegan. So I've mentioned this, I think, on other videos, but I want to become vegan for environmental reasons. The raising of animals is so environmentally not sustainable and cruel often. So having said that, I really don't have a problem with eating animals and animal products if it weren't for the environmental reasons. So I do have a friend who's a small chicken farmer, and I will get eggs from them, and I will eat eggs that come directly from them. They bring me a dozen eggs every week, sometimes 2 dozen eggs, and I kind of prepay for them for 6 months. So that is marvelous. I love that. And I think the extra protein is helpful for me because I haven't quite figured out how to get enough protein so that I feel full eating vegan. Sometimes I'm good, and I do use a scoop of protein powder in the morning, but I don't like eating processed stuff, and protein powder is definitely processed. So, so I am going to go and see if maybe I can be part of the vegan club, even though I'm a cheating vegan. I bet I can. And then I think my son and I are going to go hit a couple of stores for Halloween decorations. I'm going to see if I can get him to decorate my porch this weekend. And then I have a wine class tonight. So Wine for Normal People, it's a podcast. It's also on YouTube. She's great. And she's having a a Cabernet Sauvignon around the world class. So I bought 4 bottles of Cabernet Sauvignon. And this was a good time to do it because we have some out-of-town guests that are coming. So we will drink through some of that wine. Otherwise, that wine would sit in my fridge for like 2 weeks until I like mold it or something, because there's no way my husband and I are going to go through 4 bottles of wine. So this was a good weekend to try. I've wanted to do one of these online classes. It's nice that you can go buy your own wine so that you can get the price point. Most of these wines were under $20, but were decent wines, and it should be fun. Plus, I can give at least 1 bottle to my dad probably. So I will get through this wine and maybe do some tastings with some of our out-of-town guests, which is fun because when do you have that much wine all opened at the same time? We don't usually in my house, so we don't do tastings. But I also have a music rehearsal on Monday night, so 2 nights from now. and some of those people will drink wine. So I can offer them tastings as well. And that will be fun. And that's my fun day today. And I'm really excited about it. It's cloudy out, but it's going to hit 80. So it's actually perfect festival weather because I'm going to be out. And when you're out in the sun, it's miserable. Also, when it's kind of cloudy like this, people don't go out to festivals as much. And Veg Fest gets very, very crowded here. So I'm going to go hear some music. And they have classes on like eating plant-based, which I like those classes. So I'm going to maybe go sit in a tent and listen to classes for a couple hours this afternoon, which will be fun. I hope you are having, I keep saying Vlogmas and having to cut it out of my videos. It is Vlogtober. So I'm trying to do a video every day for Vlogtober. I missed the first day of the month because I didn't have my new teas and I wasn't fully committed to trying to do this. So I'm going to try and do it all but that very first day of October. And I'm going to try and continue to call it Vlogtober instead of Vlogmas. So have a great Vlogtober, and I will check in with you guys tomorrow. All right, bye-bye.